morning, guys. MotoMaster X5 here. You can tell I'm using a different sort of view right now. I have a head-mounted camera. Unfortunately, my Mazda is losing some coolant somehow. I'm guessing it's through a radiator or a radiator hose. Got home from work yesterday. I've been smelling a little bit of coolant on and off for the last week, but yesterday it was really bad when I got home. And I should have been checking this sooner, but it's been really cold and I've been really lazy. And when I got into that accident about 1.5 years ago, the radiator did get destroyed, so there's always a little bit of coolant in the engine bay, so I kind of assumed, you know, that was what it was. Hold on one second. Trading in some GameStop, but oh man. As you can see, it's been snowing pretty heavily here still. Go figure. Yep, and I smell coolant already. Lovely. Coolant's low. So you guys probably couldn't see from that angle because the camera kind of shifted, probably from me running up and down the stairs earlier, but coolant level's a little low. Thankfully it's not quite as low as I thought it was when I got home from work, although that might be because the coolant hasn't been circulating through the car, so maybe it's settled. I'm not an expert on engines. I know a good amount, but I don't really, like I said, I'm not an expert, so I don't know if the coolant levels will be higher when the engine's hasn't been running for a while, or if it shouldn't make a difference. But it's below the low mark in the reservoir, which obviously is not a good sign. It definitely means we're losing some coolant. Woo! Slippy slidey. So definitely losing some coolant somewhere. Immediately smelled coolant for a second when I started the car. Definitely it's coming from the front of the car though, so that's a good sign. It means that at least we're not burning coolant, which would be obviously a sign of an engine failure, whether it be a head gasket failure or something more catastrophic. So I think the engine is fine. Like I was saying before, this car was in a pretty bad accident about 1.5 years ago, 1.5 years ago. I think it's about 1 year actually. In which, no, it was 1.5 years, 2 years actually. It's been almost 2 years. So it was not long after I got the car, unfortunately. But, really bad accident. Basically, I've talked about it in the past, but I'm sure not everyone has seen all my videos. I was being dumb, running late to work. It's a really cold day. It was freezing rain, and I was going a bit too fast for the conditions. And it went over a bridge. Like, it was fine. The roads were fine until I went over a bridge, and bridge was frozen. Obviously there was ice, so I lost traction and slammed into a guardrail at about 75 miles an hour, I think I was going. Now the only, I just shifted from third back into third. The only reason why I probably wasn't hurt, because I was fine, I literally was not hurt at all. Only reason why I probably wasn't hurt and the car wasn't completely totaled, well, the car was new, so it's worth a lot. It had $14,000 worth of damage, or was it 12? 12 or 14. Car was new, so they fixed it. Obviously it was still worth over $20,000. This car's sticker price was like $25,600 or something, being the 2.5 liter Grand Touring model. So they fixed it, But when I hit the guardrail, I kind of hit it at an angle, obviously, because the guardrail's on the side of the road. I was going this way. I hit it and then spun. So a lot of the kinetic energy, I think, transferred into just me spinning rather than just, you know, hitting flat and stopping. Because I'm sure if I would have hit something flat at 75 and stopped, this car would have been demolished, and there's a good chance I would not be sitting here, at least not in this good of health, talking to you guys. Because a 75-mile-an-hour accident, no matter what vehicle you're in, if you hit something hard and you stop, that's gonna hurt like fucking hell. So I got really lucky that I did not end up in the hospital, or, you know, fuck the car at that point. Like, I love this car, but, you know, I'm worried more about, you know, my health than a car. And there was no one around me when I did it. I wouldn't have been being that stupid if there were people around me. I was running late to work, and the road was pretty much empty around me. Like, I'd only seen a couple cars on the highway. So I wasn't really risking anyone else, thankfully. It was just me. But yeah, so either way, the whole front of the car was demolished. They had to replace the radiator and a bunch of other shit under the hood. The engine cradle welds actually snapped. That's how bad the impact was. Took them about a month to fix the car, but they fixed her up and she's been fine. But you got to read the fine print with insurance. I had Geico, which, I mean, they were good. They fixed the car, but the thing is, in the fine print, they say they can use aftermarket components if they're cheaper, and the radiator is one of the things that's not OEM. So yeah, I'm kind of wondering if my non-OEM radiator is a piece of shit and cracked already or something. Either that or it's just a hose that's loose from when they replaced the radiator. I'm really hoping it's just a hose, because I haven't really, I mean, I drive my car fairly hard, but it's been winter, so I've actually been babying it, so I don't see how my driving habits could have done anything to damage it. I mean, even driving hard shouldn't damage a radiator anyway, so that wouldn't make any sense regardless. But yeah, I've been driving the car easily for the last like month or so, just because of the snow and whatnot. So it's got to be just a failure with either the radiator from this cold. It's 2 degrees out according to my car right now, 3. The wind chill's like -20 something out here, so it's cold as fuck. And I don't know if the cheap radiator could have cracked from the extreme cold. So I don't know. I really don't know. So on our way to the dealership to find out what's wrong, and hopefully it's something simple they can fix today. If not, I'm not as worried as I was when I got home yesterday. When I got home, it was dark, and I smelled the coolant, and I looked under the hood, and it looked like the coolant reservoir was empty. Now, it might have actually been, like I was saying, I don't know if the coolant will like settle and fill up the reservoir as the engine cools down. But right now there was actually some coolant in the reservoir beneath the low line, so that's not good, but there was coolant in the reservoir. So we're not as bad off as I thought. Yesterday I was worried that like I'd burned through all the coolant in the reservoir, and maybe even some in the radiator, and we were low on coolant. But I'm a little bit more optimistic now. So if they can't fix whatever the issue is today, at least I should be able to drive around for a couple of days until they have time to fix it. The car's under warranty, but I'm not sure how that works with an aftermarket part from an accident that might not be under warranty. So might have to shell out a couple $100, unfortunately. Whee! So how do you guys like this view anyway? Let me know. I know there's not a whole ton of people that watch my channel anyway, but you know, the people that do, if you like this view better, I might do this view more often. I had this headband since when I got this camera. Problem is, like in the summer, if I wear this headband, it'll leave indentations in my head, because you've seen I have a shaved head. So it'll like leave indentations in my head. Right now I have a winter hat on underneath it, so I'm hoping it won't leave indentations. But obviously I don't want to like get to work and have like freaking dents in my head. Not a big deal, I guess. But if you guys like this better, I might try to work out a way to do this more often. And I don't know how well you can hear me right now. I need to really get that microphone that I keep talking about. But yeah, if you like this, let me know. I'll try to do more videos with this style, because you guys can probably see a lot better. And it's kind of cool that I can look around and you guys will see just like you're here what I'm looking at. So yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna drive to the dealer now. I'll leave the camera running in case anything cool happens, but I'm probably just going to cut the rest of this out, and I'll start up the video again when I figure out what's going on with the car, or if the dealership figures it out. And I'll keep you guys up to date. Talk to you soon. Ooh, somebody screwed up. That really sucks. Jesus Christ, they went right off the road. Woo! Definitely gonna take it real easy on this off-ramp. Not that I was gonna haul ass or anything, but definitely do not want to end up like that person. It's a real fucked up day, as Cycle Cruiser would put it. Do not want no fucked up days around here. Almost at the dealership now. Man, they have not plowed this fucking off-ramp in, doesn't look like, fucking few hours. Or this road for that matter. Alright, leaving the dealership now. Quick update. They didn't really do much, they just kind of topped it off. It wasn't extremely low like I was saying. It wasn't as low as I originally thought. So their thoughts on it were just, they topped it off. They gave me some extra coolant. And basically if it gets low again, to come back in. I mean, I still don't think it should have gotten low, but we'll keep an eye on it. Maybe there's just an air bubble in the system or something like that. So yeah, basically the update is they topped it off. And just keep an eye on it. There's no obvious leaks. They looked under the hood to see if there was a leak, and they couldn't see anything obvious. So if it is leaking, it's not bad. So we'll see. And yes, I just pulled my e-brake going through that intersection. Oh man. Yeah, it's my dealership, by the way, is Romano Mazda. They're very nice guys there. Had nothing but good luck with them. Nothing but good experiences, I mean. I'm apparently hitting a rumble strip. I don't know which side. I'm guessing right. I don't know. This is fucked. These roads are fucked. This would be real bad if you didn't know the roads. I mean, you can kind of tell from the guardrails, but like back there where there's all those branches and shit, and there's no guardrails around, it's kind of hard to tell where the road is. What the fuck are you doing? This is 3 lanes. I don't know why they just honked at me. This is a 3-lane road. I'm in the middle lane. This guy's like in both lanes here. I have no idea why they honked at me. I'm just literally in the middle lane. I think they thought it was like a 2-lane road there. Even though it's 3. You can see the lines on the road if you look carefully. It's a 3-lane road. They're probably just not from around here.